Seine Exzellenz Herr Frank-Walter Steinmeier, Bundesaußenminister, honorable parliamentarians, Honorable Herr Ashok Sridharan, Oberbürgermeister der Bundesstadt Bonn, Mr. Richard Dictus, Executive Coordinator of UN Volunteers, Frau Christiana Figueres, Executive Secretary of UNFCCC, Frau Moderator Anke Rasper of Deutsche Welle, meine Damen und Herren, guten Abend. Ich freue mich sehr, Deutschland und Bonn, Bundesstadt, wieder besuchen zu können. It's a great honor to be back in Bonn again. Having had the privilege of inaugurating this World Conference Center last June, I'm delighted to be with you to commemorate the 20th anniversary of Bonn as a UN city. It takes a lot of vision, courage, and stamina to develop a global center like this. I congratulate all the people who have been involved in this great job. My late and distinguished predecessor, Boutros Ghali, received the first UN premises here, the House Karstanian. The wonderful castle was handed over by none other than Her Excellency Angela Merkel, current Chancellor, then serving as a Minister for Environment. We talked this afternoon, about this afternoon. 10 years later, as a Chancellor of this great country, she was on the scene again for the inauguration of the UN campus under my predecessor, Kofi Annan. Not so long ago, the turns of history emptied many of the Bonn's offices and streets. Today, the city is a dynamic, global, and cultural center thanks to UN centers. Thanks to UN agencies, the government of Germany, and their partners. That growth is far from finished as the campus continues to expand, as your work covers more issues on the global agenda. You are being true to the slogan of UN Bonn, shaping a sustainable future. I do not need to tell you why your work is important. You know the numbers, the trends, the threats to our survival. We face unprecedented global challenges that require an unprecedented global response. That response is well underway. We are taking strong steps, for example, to advance gender equality. Today is the International Women's Day, and congratulations for all our female colleagues, ladies. This has been a priority throughout my mandate as a Secretary General. Too many women and girls across the world continue to be denied their rights. But I take heart from the people everywhere who act on the knowledge that women's empowerment leads to society's advancement. Today, on International Women's Day, let us reaffirm our strong commitment to this cause. There is no greater investment in our common future. I'm also hopeful that despite problems and divisions, world leaders managed to come together last year for two major agreements with the potential to set the world on a safer, better, and prosperous path. The 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development is our inspiring new roadmap with 17 goals to guide us. The Paris Agreement on climate change is, in a very strong sense, a peace pact with the planet, and it was shaped right here in Bonn. I want to thank Germany for its leadership role in that process. I also congratulate the Climate Change Secretariat and the tireless efforts of Frau Christiana Figueres for making a history. Dankeschön für Ihre Leadership. You supported negotiations spanning many years and many late nights. You provided substantive expertise. You gave the process your very best, and we see the result. You show the world that what the United Nations can help make possible. We will soon farewell to Frau Christiana Figueres, but we will never forget her dedication and achievement. I'm sure she will continue to be a champion of climate change and climate action and the United Nations. Ladies and gentlemen, beyond UNFCCC, I thank all of you in Bonn for your contributions. The UN volunteers in more than 100 countries are offering the world skills in a huge variety of fields. This is the United Nations by the people, for the people. The UN Convention to Combat Desertification is helping to protect 1 billion people from land degradation and global environmental change. The UN University in Bonn is training future scientists and others. UN SPIDER is providing know-how in using satellite-derived data. Bonn colleagues are helping to preserve wildlife. The Staff College has established a new knowledge center for sustainable development. Let me stress that UN Bonn works closely with the rich landscape of governmental and non-governmental organizations. We benefit from the presence of the University of Bonn and from Bonn's lively private sector. I want to commend the German federal government, the German Foreign Office, the ministries, the city of Bonn, and the federal state of North Rhine-Westphalia for their support of the United Nations here in Bonn, in Germany, and throughout the world. Ladies and gentlemen, over the past couple of weeks, I visited some of the front lines of armed conflict and humanitarian needs. Across East, West, and Central Africa, I saw the impacts of climate change and desertification. I saw widespread fragility. I felt the yearning of people for stability, opportunity, and human dignity. And I sensed very strongly the urgency of the work you do here in Bonn. In preparing for my visit to Bonn, one of your colleagues shared with my team a line written by the German poet Erich Kästner that I find very appropriate to share with you now. I quote, "Es gibt nichts Gutes außer man tut es." In English, that means there is no good unless someone does it, unquote. That is what you are doing here in Bonn. People look to the United Nations to help ease their suffering and help them build a better future. I am always humbled by the task of meeting those dreams and expectations. As you may know, this is my last year as the Secretary General of the United Nations. I think I have been working very hard to meet the expectations of the world. And I have been really trying hard to make the United Nations relevant, effective, and efficient. But at the same time, I'm very conscious of many expectations that United Nations should be more efficient, more active, effective, and deliver more to many people. And there are some criticism that what are you doing? What's the relevance of the United Nations? But I can tell you very proudly and confidently, despite all this weakness, it is the United Nations which and who are delivering to the people. Everybody is still looking to the United Nations. And I am very much humbled. And at the same time, with your strong support, such as we enjoy from Germany and from Bonn, I think I am motivated. Germany is a strong advocate for human rights. You are a strong anchor of global stability. And you are champion, pioneering champion on climate change. And you are major force of sustainable development. You are very benevolent leader in humanitarian affairs. Like your government, led by Chancellor Angela Merkel, is trying to help millions of people who otherwise would have no place to stand. That I am very much grateful. And even though I may be leaving, but I'm sure that you will continue to support the United Nations, you will continue to support my successor, so that she or he can deliver all what many people around the world look to the United Nations. And I thank you very much for all your support. And danke Ihnen für Ihre leadership. Thank you very much. Danke schön. Thank you.